Hi everybody, it is back and Ham's Day for me, but tomorrow I am back.
I'm here, I'm back in the room.
By popular demand on YouTube, live for pre and post match on MUFC Realist. So guys, join me there, and as always, like, subscribe and share.
Good evening, people. Mick Ruby here, waiting for Daly to come in. He's running a little bit late, and we do apologize because we have a jam-packed show for you today, and it's Daly's United show, and the host is running late for his own party. But anyway, I'm here to entertain you guys because I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about today. We have a jam-packed show, so we're absolutely going to talk about yesterday's performance and is United back? 2 winning games in a row. Yes, it breeds a little bit of a confidence. It puts a smile on my face and probably most of the community, global fan base community faces again. We're also going to talk about the Jadon Sancho story that don't want to go away. I mean, basically is, the players' union associations threatening United that, it's a potential fine the way we're handling the situation. Oof. I mean, off the pitch, it's not looking good. I mean, Anthony is also coming back to face the music, to speak to Manchester United police as well. I mean, he's handed over his phone. So basically, he's got nothing to hide. And that is kind of a breaking story by itself, because we do miss Anthony the way he's tracking back. But anyway, hold your horses. We got Pelistri that's doing a fantastic job. We also talk about the media agenda here, and they failed to throw Erik ten Hag under the bus because reports coming up, big reports today that, the management, the establishment is very happy with Ten Hag at the moment. They are talking about a contract extension goes beyond 2025. So that means that we are happy and the media lost in a way. I mean, also, we're going to look at who are the kids of the future right now, 1999. We're talking about Dan Gore, Magebury, Garnacho, Kobe Mainoo. We're going to talk about, potentially like when he comes back, Amad Diallo as well. But also the main talking point today, are Tank Sherman, are the Rock. We're not talking about that Rock, the wrestling Rock. We're talking about Sofia Amrabat. What a performance. What a first debut. The guy literally waited 3 months. He said no to everyone. He said no to every suitor. He said, no, I only want to play for Erik ten Hag and Manchester United. And the post-match interview yesterday, he was asked, what? You were supposed to play on the left? Me? Play in the left back? No, I can play anywhere. I can even play goalkeeper. That's the spirit, But also we're going to talk about, there's a poll that I put on the chat where you guys can interact with, which is your preferred midfield pairing. We have a headache. Actually, Ten Hag has a headache because now he can choose a lot of those players. We have, Casemiro, Amrabat, Gore, Mason Mount. Who else am I missing? Donny van de Beek, Bruno. We have so many players. I mean, we haven't had that midfield pairing. I mean, come on. Since Carrick left, we haven't really had a proper CDM either. Finally, we plug in that midfield because the games are won and lost in the midfield. But also, if you look in the attacking sense, gives Ten Hag a little bit of a headache, right? Who are we going to start? Like Martial is back scoring. He's got a smile on his face. We have a young Danish Rasmus Højlund there. But anyway, he's too young. It's too much to put all the weight on his shoulders. So he's got to lead the lines now and then, depends which game. But if you have a Martial smiling, happy, motivated, God, this was a potentially start of Martial's scoring machine right now. He looked so happy. And after the game, you saw even Bruno didn't even play. They were both smiling. There was a camp. And apparently they had a little bit of a team barbecue. Did Ten Hag listen to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? They do a barbecue. That fosters team spirit and togetherness and nip it in the bud, because it's been diabolical off the pitch. Another thing is we got to be very careful on this platform, not to use any foul languages. If you do come in and have a say later on, we got to use, mind your language as well. because nowadays they are monitoring every single thing because there's kids watching, so we got to mind our words, not to use the F-bomb words and stuff like that. So just putting that to your attention as well. While we're waiting, I just want to give a shout out to everyone that's watching as well. As per tradition, what we used to do on this channel is a warm up while we're waiting for Jarvis potentially to come in. Jay is actually messaging me right now as well to see. Yep. Yeah, Jarvis is coming in 1 minute as well. And yeah, I mean, come on, coming at Raw, like, you know, Mark just gifted 5 memberships. Oh my God, I'm just getting warmed up. You guys are you're killing me here. Oh my God, let's see who became a member here. Wow, Ronak Joshi was gifted a membership. Kev McGee was gifted a membership. Craig Warby didn't give a gift a membership, but Eye in the Sky was gifted a membership, and Sugar was gifted a membership. Big up, smash a massive gratitude. Thanks for Mark, actually, MUFC Mark. Coming in there, some with the uppercut, and there's even super chats coming in as well. But let me just get into all of these people. Let me just warm up. It is Wednesday. We have a smile on our face. I personally woke up really happy. Endorphins. Seriously. Edward Reed is here. I can see you. I see that Goldbridge has a video clip to say that Jimmy Rat is out. I'm not supposed to say that, you know, after the full sale now. Surely this is more BS. That's a proper word to use it. Like, you know, BS instead of selling the full word, if you know what I mean. We're going to talk about that as well in sort of decrypted language. If we're going to speak about the current establishment, we're going to use the G's or the clowns, you know, because of the algorithm. You know what? It's a topic for another discussion off this platform as well. Lucky Singh is here as well. Who else is here? Jamie Wayne is absolutely saying Ten Hag new contract. And also, who else do we have here? We have Jarvis Cocker in the house as well to say also there's a new contract. You know, Jarvis is here to say what's going on. Jarvis!
Hey, big up everybody.
You look like you're not like buffed as Jay.
Well, I think so. I am.
Yeah, wait a minute. You gotta. I'm back. It's chest day.
Where's Jay? Where is Jay?
He's running late.
Okay.
So basically,
Same
we
as
were
me.
15 minutes late. Same as you. No worries anyway. Big up to you. How you feeling today, mate?
Yeah, I'm feeling good. A little bit tired, but I made myself
Me too.
a cup of Earl Grey tea.
Oh, are you English or Norwegian?
English
Interesting.
tea. So yeah, actually, tea makes me wake up in the night, but I can't drink coffee because then I'm
Okay.
wide awake. So it's better with.
Oh no, coffee runs in my vein, mate. You know, if I go to do a blood sample, like, you know, for a doctor's test, you know, blood sample test, it's just coming up black Java. guess I put in the chat here, like, guess how many cups Mick is having. I should run a poll on this. It doesn't affect me at all, mate. Really?
Give me one try. I would say you drink 12 cups a day. Really? More?
To be honest? Yeah, probably more. I don't even know. Probably more. 15 cups a day, probably.
Jesus,
and these are these little bombs too. These little suckers, right? Guys, if you want to buy me more coffee, like, you know, there's a link there down there, like, you know, that means that, you know, you can super chat, but you can also buy us a coffee or beer or pizza. Simply scan that barcode as well if you really appreciate the content that we're doing. I mean, if we're not live, like, and if you see a video, 100% you can sort of buy us a coffee. You know, definitely supports the channel going further, like, you know, because this platform is not really being nice to us, Jarvis, as you know, and some other content creators.
It is what it is. And, you know, freedom of speech, we got to be able to speak our mind.
Can we even say freedom of speech? FS.
Yeah, I think we can say it.
We can say it.
I'm not afraid.
I'm not afraid. I'm not alone. It's madness what's going on in the world right now. It's a mad world. Like, you know, Jolly Malminis is in the house saying, you know, more Sancho drama and oh, Scotty. I don't know where these players got image of themselves. Being superstars, demanding to be moved to top club when it comes to transfers, it's disrupting 100%. Big up Kenny Fan TV. Big up for Satwan Singh to say G's out. I'm not going to shout out the name. I'm just saying G out. You know what I mean? It
Smurfs
is
out.
Smurfs out. Yeah, we can say Smurfs out. Glory, glory, Manchester United. Big up to you, Manchester United, Charlie. I see you. RJ is also in the house. Craig Warb is here. Big up, chat. Who else do we have
Big up, Craig.
in the here? Milos Mitic. Without Milos Mitic, we don't have a show. Dobro večer. And we're going to discuss about that. Hannibal is also getting a new contract, apparently. And what are we missing here? So today's topics, what we're going to talk about is this following, because we're going to definitely dive into yesterday's performance. Sanchez fine. The media agenda has failed with the Ten Hag new contracts. And also a little bit about the kids of today, the Amrabat story, and who is your preferred starting pairing. Right. And without further ado, Mr. Testicle, what do you call it? Fortitude himself. Jay Daly is in the house.
Hey guys, good evening. Jarvis, looking very tan and lean, my friend. Looking fantastic. Good to see you, pal. It's been a while. Been a while.
Yeah, hold your ears, Jay. We got to salute you. Welcome. Yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. How are you doing, sir?
Good. As we spoke earlier on, the joys of the hotel business. Never, ever get out in time. Ever.
Oh, hotel business is mad, isn't it? 100% is mad. Guys, before we continue, also, we should never underestimate the VAR room. Guys, you're the superstars here, and we have a straight uppercut from Alien Tenno to say, what a day for Gore. It was 19th birthday versus Palace, and he got his senior debut. 100%. Dan Gore was on fire yesterday when he came in. Everyone didn't put a foot wrong. But Jay, did you get a chance to watch the game because you were working yesterday, or did you catch it on the?
Yeah, I just caught some highlights. Obviously, my viewpoint of the game is probably skewed based on the highlights, and obviously based on what I saw on my Twitter feed. Because even though I'm at work and the game is on, I'm always going to have a cheeky look at the screen every time I pass by the restaurant or the bar. So Gore, 19 years old, full debut, died for the lad. Hannibal. I think I saw a stat today that it's his first full game, but he already has the most pressure this season. This is Mr. Kevin Ashford in the VAR room. You actually mash, Kevin. You actually mash.
He made it. Van Cam.
He made it.
He made it.
The infamous, notorious Van Cam. So Amrabat. Do you guys watch Ted Lasso?
Of course we do. Big fan.
So you guys remember the lovely chant about Roy Kent?
Yeah.
So I tweeted out about Amrabat. He's here. He's there. He's every fucking where.
Oops,
Amrabat. So no. It's with FAC. So they can't demonetize us. FAC is not the U word. So they can't demonetize.
KFC.
So he's every. Yeah, exactly. Okay. So I think Amrabat, the lad was playing left back. He was centre mid. He turned up at 10. He was right wing. He was everywhere. So think, guys, in about 10 games' time, 10 consecutive games, injuries and suspensions aside, playing beside Casemiro, I think we're going to see a new dynamic midfield. And please God, now what that Hannibal is showed up, Gore's there, that I will never have to sit through 90 minutes again of Scott McSideways.
True that. I mean,
imagine what a bliss.
Jarvis, listen, talk to us, because I mean, I haven't seen anyone kicked, having that successful debut since Bruno Fernandes came on in January. First game, almost man of the match performance, and he's been off the sidelines for a while. He was everywhere, post-match interview. Yes, did you see the post-match?
Yeah,
he said I can even play goalkeeper. Jesus, talk to us, Jarvis. His stats.
Yeah, yesterday's game. I know you didn't see it the game by the full, but it was a great game, and it was things that I like when I see us play football is how we play the ball to each other, how we they call it recycling the ball. We tried to attack on one side, but it didn't work, so we passed back and went recycle the ball to the other side, and we did that several times. We just waited for the opportunities. We weren't wasteful with the ball, and that's how you dominate the opposition, because you can't dominate the opposition if you don't have the ball. If you lose the ball in every attack because you try the most difficult way to score, it's very hard. But yesterday we tried again and again and again. The last attack in first half, Amrabat got a free kick. He got a high ball. He took it down on his chest. He was under press by two guys. He took the free kick because he defended the ball, so he got tackled. After that free kick, we had 68 passes. We went from one side to the other side, to the other side, back again. And then suddenly we had a chance with Hannibal in the last 10 seconds before the referee blew the whistle. When did you ever see Man United had string together 68 passes in a row before?
No, Jarvis, on that, from what I saw on Twitter, a lot of fan base alluded to much better ball retention, as you said, better ball recovery. And as you said there, when was last time we 68 passes? We may have had him under Van Gaal when he was going sideways and backwards, possibly when we had that run of 5 nil games. But a lot of the fans now are saying Bruno who after last night. So a lot of fans are arguing, are we a better side with Bruno not playing and Rashford not playing? I know it was Carabao Cup, second string Crystal Palace, but when it comes to ball retention, are we more wasteful with Rashford and Bruno on the pitch together vis-a-vis what we saw last night?
Yeah, it's a very good question, and I believe we are more wasteful because Rashford is the type of player, he wants to take responsibility, he wants to try, and he believes that he's one of the best players, and it's up to him to create something. And I understand that, but that was his role under Solskjaer. Now we have a new manager. We are in stage 2 with Ten Hag. We can finally try to see the way Ajax style that he used to play, and I think it's time for Ten Hag and the coaches to learn, retrain Rashford and retrain Bruno to play the way we want Ten Hag to play.
Can you teach an old dog how to sit?
Yeah, well, Rashford is a much better forward than Garnacho is. No doubt about that. He scored 30 goals. They're
two different styles of play.
To the manager and them to learn him how to play, and I think he's not a dumb footballer, but he gotta restrain himself when going to the attack. He gotta take the chance when the chance is there to take, but not every time.
I have no agenda against Rashford, but I just can see that he's struggling at the moment, and for him to retain his spot, he's got to get on his bike at the moment and sit and get hungry. Like, you know what I mean?
It's not an agenda, not at all. It's just a very valid discussion point. Like Rashford now, he's got this bumper new contract. Personally, I wouldn't give him to him. Personally, not. He's now the star boy for a certain element in the fan base. He's arguably the most marketable player for the marketing department. So obviously he's going to be pushed to start every game and be given, let's just say, special considerations. But who is more coachable, Jarvis, Garnacho or Rashford? And between now and May, we're going to find out.
Well, a youngster is like a sponge. He's willing to learn. And, you saw reports afterwards that, even if he had a stellar performance, Ten Hag didn't say, well, he can do better, right?
Yeah.
Just high standards. The thing is with, if you go back on Rashford's history, last season he was carrying the team alone. He was the leading goal scorer. He was the star boy. And all of a sudden you got Garnacho coming, knocking on his place. You recruited a prolific goal scorer, striker, like in Rasmus Højlund. So he's not going to he's got to learn how to be a team player in the way that I see it. And the only way is to do it is, everyone that used to be a child and you were sitting at the dinner table and your parents served you something you didn't like, and you didn't want to eat, and they said, well, you're going to eat it until you finish your dinner, and otherwise you're going to sit here and watch us. By the way, we're just going to take away the spinach, and now we're going to eat pizza. And you're going to go, can I have some? No, eat your spinach first, right? So Rashford needs to get more hungry, so I don't mind players being benched to get more hungry, to get that passion, to have a competition for places, because that's healthy for the squad, right?
But the question that I have, that it's always in my head, is Rashford prepared to be a cog in the Ten Hag system, or does he want to be the focal point of the system? And thus far, I'm going to judge him now just from what I've seen since August, start of the season. He is still trying to make himself the focal point of all the attacks.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying, Jay. Sorry, Mick, but I get what you're saying. You're used to cycling, and that's one of your favorite sports. And I think Rashford needs to learn to be a water carrier. Sometimes, some games it requires him to go down the main peloton and get some water bottles for Højlund, for example. So
fact.
That needs to be Rashford's new role. You got to understand that.
That's a very good analogy. That's a job that I did many times. And that's just part of just being a pro and getting paid to do a job. Comment here from Van Camp Kevin Rashford. Rashford's decision making is terrible. Kevin, I agree. His football IQ is very, very poor. Somebody sent me a screenshot from the Burnley game. I think Rashford is on the left side of the pitch. Casemiro is unmarked, hands open for the ball, and Rashford either chooses not to see him or does his normal Rashford stuff, runs down a blind alley, and it doesn't pass. That was just one little screenshot that was sent over the weekend.
A big up Kev as well. Get Kev, if you want to come in and have a say as well, we can share the link, but it's up to you as well. But let us just go through this content as well, because how important was that to see a smiling, Martial after his goal? Jarvis.
Yeah, I can go first, but for me it was a great relief. Finally see him happy again. He's a little bit sulky when he doesn't get to play, and especially when he gets competition, he has always been extra sulky. But now we have Højlund in, but it looks like he have found his role. He was happy. His finish with the goal was a great finish. It's not an easy finish, but he scored. So seeing him smile after the game made me happy. It made me smile. So I hope that he can continue this positivity and understand that he will get some minutes. He will play a vital part. He will be number 2 for Højlund. But then again, there's always competition, and nothing is set in stone when it comes to football. It's your performance who decides whether you play or not. So it's up to him. So I like what I see from Martial. So and please don't get injured again.
No. I mean, coming from Ian McDonald here, it's like Rashford is a massive threat for teams. They double up on him every time. That's 100% they do. There's always 2 around him every time. But the thing is, with Garnacho, they don't really know the Garnacho play. And Garnacho is very tricky as well. So he may not be as potent as he was last season, but his presence forces teams to double mark him. More spaces for Rasmus, 100%. And that's the way it is. You liberate, more spaces for, you drag them out wide, and you have Højlund in the middle. But then it comes down to also crossing in the ball, right? And yesterday we saw something beautiful, Jay. Basically, how often do we actually have, cutting balls and goals? The way the City used to do, they do it all the time. But we had the beautiful first goal, the goal of Garnacho, basically that. We had a brilliant pass in from Mason Mount. And if I remember correctly, it went to who received the ball? Or was it directly to Daly, right?
I think Daly. Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
For my
the first goal was Daly.
Yeah.
He cut it in, right? Yeah, it was team goal.
Team goal. And it's like since August, start of season, we haven't scored team goals. They've been the oft-mentioned Moments FC goals. So I think those goals that we scored against Palace, I think they were the first real team goals we've seen thus far this season. And just to go back on Jarvis, your point at Martial, I haven't seen Martial smile in years. So a smiling, injury-free Martial putting pressure on Radmus, I'm all for that.
100%. Before we continue, I want to just say happy birthday in advance for Luke Chapman. Jarvis, take out your toot. 1, 2. Congratulations. Happy birthday, Luke.
Happy birthday, Luke. Have a good day.
Have a good day too tomorrow, man. Seriously, but it's good that we can nip it in the bud because, media's been trying to get Ten Hag. Like, we've spoken about this on this channel so many times, right? There's been stories from Samuel SL, extra small. And that didn't work apparently because to everyone's attention, like, we have on the back of this, like these people trying to undermine year in, year out, trying to throw the managers on the bus. But today there was some massive news coming out in the ether that, United is looking to, so it's been 18 months he's got appointed, and they are very happy with Ten Hag. He's the future, and they are going to offer him a contract extension, a new contract. So that's basically a big enough for the journalist that's trying to sort of throw me on the bus. Guys, I want to hear your opinion. Is it too early to give him a contract, or is it the right way going forward?
Do you mind if I go first, guys?
Yeah, sure.
I think it's too early, personally. I think you need to wait until the season finishes and then reassess. What happens if come next May we are somewhere between 6th, 7th and 8th and we're back in the Europa League and our Conference League? Then giving the manager a new contract is going to sound and look very, very silly. The fan base got high on the emotion of when we scammed that win against PSG out in Paris a couple of years ago. You had Rio Ferdinand banging on the table on BT Sports saying, give him the contract now. Fans jumping in a bandwagon, and all of a sudden we're stuck with Solskjaer. He had to get a big payoff. So I think it's too early. I think they should just hold their fire and wait the season's out and then make a more informed choice.
Yeah, I agree what you're saying there, Jay. And the thing is, why he has 18 months left on his contract? Yeah. Unless Ten Hag is pushing for it himself, that he wants a new contract for peace of mind. And is it longer contract, or is it about more money in the contract? Do you know, Mick?
I think it's a bit of. I don't know the numbers, but it's a bit of both. I saw on Twitter 6 years, but I don't know if that number is actually true. Okay. The last 6-year contract we gave was to David Moyes. Look how that turned out.
Yeah,
I just think we just relax, reassess, and wait until the season's end. Would be a prudent business decision.
I can see it from 2 points, though. Yeah, I totally agree with you, because that gives me a bad taste, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Now, he was appointed as the interim manager, as we all know, and things were going good, and then you saw Woodward running into the dressing room and giving to contract too early. So wait a minute, it's same thing with players, like with Rashford in the current situation. Make them feel hungry. Don't let them be complacent. I feel that they are safe and secure, right? So I totally agree with you. Mados is also saying wait until April, 100%. But it's part of just to sort of clarify this. It's part of every manager's contract. Within the 18 years, they have new negotiations. It's part of every player's contract as well. It depends on what's in your contract, but in his contract, it was written like after 18 months, we have a new contract negotiations. Like depends on how you're performing, right? So rightfully to say, first year, okay, we finished third, got a Carabao Cup. He deserves a extension or maybe better, a little bit more money. But also on the other hand, this is kind of a big into the journalist is trying to sort of throw him under the bus. You know what I mean? And you can see that he's got the togetherness back together, with the squad. He hosted a barbecue. He did the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer thing. You saw everyone was smiling. Everyone wanted to play yesterday. And, if a team starts to win, that sort of rubs off of the whole mentality of the club. And it's been difficult, start of the second season. So therefore, I mentioned this. Our season starts now, Jay. Our season starts now. Because if you look at it, Jay, if you look at everyone that sits in top 4 right now, Jarvis and Jay, they haven't had their share of injuries. We had a half of squad injured. Have you ever seen anyone having 11 players out in the first season? But rest assured, that's that's going to catch up, right? We had a fair share of injuries now in the beginning of the season, but rest assured that Liverpool, City, Spurs, they're all going to get their injuries later down, and while we are fresh and rotating.
That's a great take, Mick. We're going to know what week 7 this season, if I'm correct, week 7, and we've had 11 players out over the course from August to now. Amrabat is back, Mount is back. My favorite centre forward of all time, Martial, a bit sarcastic, is back. He's absolutely not. So if we could pin right now, okay, we've had our injuries. We're going to have a fully fit squad between now and May, which obviously won't happen. But to your point, Spurs, Liverpool, Arsenal, and Man City, they will at some point have their injuries. Plus the fact we have the African Nations Cup coming up in January. So that's a lot of teams missing first team players for a month in January. And then fatigue levels coming back from African Nations Cup. If you're African Nations Cup, you play 6-7 games, you come back, second week of February, how fatigued are you going to be? So I think the African Nations Cup players gone for a month and coming back in February, I think that will have a reflection on knee positions come January, February also.
Yeah. I think it's giving him a new contract now at the moment. It's you can see it as a vote of confidence from the board and
what Nicholas is saying
club, as the comments here talks about, and I actually agree with it. I wouldn't give him a contract right now. I would wait until the end of the season and then assess. But getting him a contract now will be a vote of confidence, because we have going through all this with Sancho, Greenwood, all this trouble in the club. But now maybe they just tells everybody, okay, we will steady the ship. Ten Hag will be here for many years. So Sancho, forget about it. It won't be a new manager. You have to settle with Ten Hag, or because he will stay.
Yeah, but at the same time, I kind of agree with Edward Reed is saying as well. This is kind of create that togetherness in a way, to give the bigging up to the ones that was trying to hurt Ten Hag, and everything that's been going off the pitch as well with the allegations and everything else. Is basically to say, like, we have confidence in you. The players is showing confidence. We are moving forward. Yesterday was a perfect example to see how the football might look like, because people were saying he's got no style of play, blah blah blah, without even thinking, without even having a half a brain to say, wait a minute, how are you supposed to have a style of play when he has 11 injured players out, right? So now you're starting to see, like, the season is kicking on right now. You have Mason Mount coming in, like, Mason Mount played like, what, have you been injured for 5 weeks? I didn't even notice. He was on fire, you know what I mean? And then you have Hannibal Magebreed, like, giving the vote of confidence as well. Like, did you see when he took him off and he gave him, like, you did that little cheeky thing. You got a yellow card, but it's okay. You did a good performance, mate, So it breeds competitiveness and discipline. Like, he's a disciplinarian, like, even post-match interviews, like, he's not happy, right? Even if it was a perfect I thought it was a great performance. Like, I haven't seen his best performance of the season so far, right? But he's not happy, right? We can do better. And this is what I like, right? Yeah.
Hannibal, what a game. 12.9 kilometers he ran during
Should we talk about Hannibal?
It was the best. It was the longest a United player has run in 2019.
Wow.
Yeah.
Should we talk about Hannibal a little bit?
Yeah, we can do that.
Okay, you can. Go ahead. Talk about Hannibal. Because Hannibal was also reported that they are negotiating a new contract for him as well. Is it too early? Or is it just...
Well, the thing is, I want us to keep the players hungry. If we give it to too easy big contracts all the time, they have like a spell of 2 or 3 good games, and suddenly we throw a new contract in their face. I also like, let's assess when the season is over. I don't like this giving new contracts during the season. We did it with Bruno, we did it with Rashford. It takes away the concentration of the camp. I think we should just keep it as it is until the end of the season, and then we assess. But 12.9 kilometers, that's impressive. He's a Duracell bunny. He can run all the time, and I think playing against players like him, I've been a footballer myself. It's awful because they never stop running, and you're so tired. You have blood when you breathe, and everything is just terrible. And you see that guy running all the way all the time. It never stops. It's demoralizing as a footballer. So we need players like him who can run.
Yeah, but you were saying, you were spot on. Like I said, the way forward, we need legs. Like, we needed legs in the Europa League. We needed legs for against Burnley as well, and we got legs, and this was the solution, according to my opinion. And yeah, he's definitely like, he's very rated in Morocco. He plays in the Moroccan international team. He's very rated, so it's a natural step. Manchester United saying here, according to one football app, they're open to contract talks with him. So I think it's just showing, like, and this is kind of Ten Hag showing his trust. Like, he let a lot of players go in the summer, a lot of academy players, but he kept the one that he thought would be the next world beaters. And Hannibal is 100% part of his plan. Like Dan Gore, like Kobe Maino, Garnacho, Pelistri. I mean, I want to also talk about Pelistri. Pelistri. That boy, can I say boy or is it a man?
I think he's a man.
He's a man. He's a man. All right. He reminds me of a Maradona cross with Leo Messi in this low center of gravity. The ball is kind of like he's got magnet shoes. Like, no, the ball is just stick glued to his feet, right? And I thought that was a penalty, stone cold penalty when he got pulled down. The only thing that was missing, he had a stellar performance, was a goal. But guys, do you reckon there was a VAR penalty on Pelistri yesterday?
But the thing is, Mick, we don't really get VAR penalties anymore, do we?
No.
I think we got so many dodgy VAR penalties and free kicks during that lockdown season. I think we've now exhausted our budget for VAR penalties. I think if anything, any 50-50 VAR decision now, as you've seen since August, goes against us. So it's hard to say. I just want to touch there on contracts for new players. I wouldn't be giving any young player a new contract during the season. I'd be setting these young players some very clear defined KPIs that they have to reach between now and the end of May. And then when they get a new contract in May, it will be a heavy incentivized contract. Goes back to make you recruited my individuals working in sales. You want to keep them hungry. You don't want to dangle that car in front of them.
Oh.
So have the contract incentivized. Give them, like, obviously a very good basic wage, but give them incentives they have to achieve in season 2 and 3 to achieve those bigger numbers in the contract. Because now, like you see, okay, Jadon Sancho, take Jadon Sancho example. What's he on? Is it 325 or 350 a week? Some obscene amount of money. So where is his motivation to get his ass out of bed in the morning and come to training early? To put in the hard graft. He has no incentive. He already is a multi-millionaire. He has it made. So these young players like Hannibal, I think, make the contract incentivized. Keep them hungry, keep them lean and mean, and let them achieve their potential, rather than give them a big payoff too young.
Yeah, no, you're spot on. We talked about this so many times on this podcast as well. Jarvis, you're a business owner. You have a lot of staff as well. So yeah, of course you put them on a probation period. But if you hire a salesperson or key account manager, it's totally different thing, right? A car salesman gets a small base salary. Just say a car salesman. What do you call it? Like a football agent as well also works on commission as well. And a real estate sales agent.
Real estate agent, yeah.
Some people get like, a small percentage base just to cover the petrol and the car and stuff like that, but the rest is commission, and that keeps them motivated and hungry. But what happens to those key account managers that get like 70-30? Means 70 base, 30 commission, right? So that means that you're already getting 300K. Let's hypothetically speaking, in footballing terms, that you get 300K a week, right? Like, and 20% on, like, if you achieve your targets. So I rather see like a model to say that, hey, I put you on the opposite, like 30-70, right? 30% base and the rest on KPIs, just to keep you hungry. Any thoughts, like?
Yeah, I see Man United fan cam. He says, "Okay, so it's funny comment." But he has another one. Always thought incentive-based contracts are the way forward. Yeah. So actually, if you perform well, you will get more paid. For example, but it's with today's agents and how contracts are built, it's hard because we have to be competitive. It's not just Man United. We are competing against all the other big clubs, and they will give big salaries. So we just have to do what we have to do. But I think we have stretched it a little bit too far, with those 350 contracts. I think we should be more in incentive based contracts. I think that will be the best thing going forward, because motivation come from inside. I've learned that since I was a little boy. Motivation comes from inside. It's not about money and all the things that come from the outside. You got to have the fire inside to perform. I think you can ruin young footballers by throwing so much money, and we have seen it in the recent example. I'm not saying money is the issue with Sancho, but it sometimes feels like it, that he has lost his motivation. He's not willing to fight for his place. He's not willing to train hard enough. He's not even willing to meet up in time when Ten Hag tells him to. So for me, I think that's a big part of the problem. And we need to change that culture in our club for us to improve.
Yeah, no, 100%. It's like the Beastie Boys, if you remember from the 80s. Like, you gotta fight for your right to play for United.
Yeah,
I like it. That's very good.
Hey, Kev, if you want to have a say, I just posted the link to your DM on Twitter. But yeah, if you want to come and have your say, come in and join the band. I'm pasting here right now for Kev to come in and have a say.
Full-time Newcastle 1-0 against Manchester City.
What? City lost?
Bye-bye, Manchester City. And that's good news for us because it's much easier to win the League Cup or the Carabao Cup or what's it called when City is not around.
Was it the Carabao Cup or?
Carabao Cup, yeah.
Oh, this Energy Cup. The cup is ours. The cup is ours. Anyway, I just posted the link. So we have Peter Alien Tenno coming in with Raw Stage. How are you doing, Alien Tenno?
Sweet as my man. How you doing, Jake?
Good to see you. Good to see you, buddy. How you getting on?
Yeah. This is Peter. Anything in town? I've got to say, Nick, why Jay's always late. He's out biking with Ben Foster, isn't he? The dots together.
Very good.
You've
I like
been
that.
found
Very
out,
good.
Jay. You've been found out, son.
I've been found out.
Yeah.
He's now the bicycling chef. Are you the chef, or are you, Jay, or something? The bicycling chef.
I think Ben Foster is too busy holding Mark O's hand.
Yeah, of course, yeah. Sipping what is it, Kool-Aid or whatever it is.
Yeah. No,
okay, let me kick off.
You asked me what I did. No, I manage a gym, a pool, and a spa, but I also look after health and safety for the entire hotel. So every day there's something. Every single day there's some issue or report.
I can imagine it.
So it's 8:30. I'm ready to leave, and I've got to deal with a problem. That's basically it.
I was a chef, Jay, for 25 years, and you can imagine I worked more than what I got paid, put it that way. You know how it rolls in that bit.
Can I ask you, was you like an entree chef, or were you
no, Michelin star chef, actually.
Wow.
I used to work at the Chester Grosvenor with Paul Hollywood.
Very grand. Wow, Peter. Impressive.
Yeah, although he wasn't a chef, Paul Hollywood. Paul Hollywood is a what they call a boulanger, a baker. Yeah, as in cooking, main courses, this and that. The guy hasn't got a clue about that, like, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, I worked with him for 2 years, Paul Hollywood.
Really?
In Chester.
So I guess at home, who cooks the food, you or the wifey?
There's no. Listen, I cook the food. And off.
Hey, in my
I'll let
kitchen
her
here.
open a can of beans. You know what I mean?
Listen, I will tell you a story, Peter, because in my kitchen it's booby trapped. It's fully of mines. Like, don't touch my kitchen. That's the wifey's area, right? I'm not even allowed. I can cook. I'm a very good chef. She doesn't allow me to. She likes to cook the food for me. That's the love I get.
You know what it is, guys, right? It's like any profession, you get used to doing. So when I was in work as a chef working, I didn't even think about where things was. It's like, the pan's over there, there's a ladle there, there's a thing there, and I'm listening to the orders coming in, I'm doing this and that, and as soon as anyone goes into my kitchen and moves things, it's like, how come that chopping knife has moved 2 inches? Why is it moved? It should be there, not there. But it is. Anyway, let's get to the game. You know what? First time, Edward said it in the chat, in 2 years, it was an absolute pleasure to be at Old Trafford last night. And I'm going to make no bones about this. And everyone around me in the ground was saying this. United are better without Rashford and Bruno in the team. We were playing controlled football without loose cannons. Because Rashford, all Rashford does, I call him Rash Bandicoot, is running in a straight line and he tries impossible angles to shoot. Where you could see last night where players couldn't get a shot in or whatever, they actually kept the ball, looked for the pass off and to pass it around. Yeah. That diagonal ball on the wing, Amrabat, Mount and Casemiro all played diagonal balls to Palestri on the wing, and Daly got there as well on the wing. Yeah, that first goal, for Garnacho, when Mount put him through, and Palestri just quick fired it off the pass straight away. Didn't think about it, just passed it off. Daly got to the byline, cut it back. That's what you want from your football team. No hesitation, quick thinking, boom, gone. This is how you do it. Rapido football. It's in the back of the net. Don't piss around. He should have had a penalty, Palestri. But from what should have been a penalty, we got the corner and Casemiro scored. So it kind of balanced itself out in that way. It could have also gone the other way, couldn't it? Casemiro might have scored the header. But I can't believe that VAR didn't even look.
No, you still have that agenda.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
You still have this agenda, right? I think so. You still have this
of course you do. But you know what? I gave the man of the match to Amrabat just because it was his debut game at Old Trafford. Really, you could not signal out any player in that game as, man of the match. I can't fault anyone. Seriously, even Maguire. I really can't. Everyone contributed, chipped in. And you know what, Mick, Jay, Jarvis, know what really came across at Old Trafford last night? The joy of the players playing together, literally playing football. It was tangible that they were really enjoying themselves playing that game. That has not been there for a long time at Old Trafford. Is it not playing Maguire and Bruno that's doing that? Who knows? We'll see. But on Saturday, for me, Garnacho and Palestri must play on the wings.
Yeah,
no shadow about that.
Since you're the 5-star Michelin chef and cook, what would you recommend? What would be the recipe for Ten Hag to cook the best team?
You know what? If possible, it's not going to happen because Amrabat's still going to have to play left back, isn't he? Because we haven't got a left back. So we couldn't buy a left back if we had the money to buy one. It's unless Reguilon is somehow fit. I don't know. Personally, for me, if everyone was fit,
sorry, Peter. I'm sorry, Peter. Peter, we're so sorry, Peter. Sorry, Peter, for laughing. We're not laughing at you. There's a comment here from Kevin Ashford. This is a banger, right? Mick, I'm in Sicily in my hotel room, lay in bed in my boxers, drinking red wine. It won't look good for the channel.
We will be bad. Jarvis, are you with me? Let's do The Godfather.
Wow.
You got
anyway, you know what, right? You know, Saturday.
Hey, Kev, say hello to Fabrizio. If you see Fabrizio, pull him in the nose. Big up, mate.
Red wine and Pete. Anyway, Saturday, if it's possible, I will play this Oyland up front. I will play Martial at number 10. I'll play Garnacho and Palestri on the wings, and I will put CDMs, Amrabat and Casemiro.
Yeah,
and I think that would put the shit up any team, that formation. What was I saying to you, Mick, a few games ago, especially against Brighton?
You said exactly.
And he done it. He actually done it last night. Eric Ten Hag play 3-5-2.
He did,
and he played Evans, Maguire, and
in the second half, in
the second half at 3-5-2.
But did you guys notice something different, Peter? Did you notice something different? Even on the paper, like an Amrabat was lined up as a left back, but he never played left back.
No, he didn't. No, he's drifting in.
We were like 6 in the midfield, almost like a 5 in the midfield, and and the wingers were tucking it wide. So basically, we didn't really create the overlaps like the fullbacks and the midfielders. No, it was actually congesting that midfield and play it out wide to Garnacho and Palestri to hug that touchline. And that worked.
It did, yeah. I mean, Amrabat was like, even though, you could visually see it in the second half, he went 3-5-2. He was kind of loosely doing that anyway, because Amrabat was drifting from the left-back position into the midfield. And he actually unleashed Casemiro, didn't he? But as soon as you get legs around Casemiro, this guy is what he was at Real Madrid. Yeah? He's knocking on, He's still a really good player, but you can't expect him to do it on his own. You get some bodies in there with him, and then you'll get the best out of the guy, and you've seen it. I mean, that ball he played to Martial for his goal.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Seriously, would anyone else on the pitch have done that last night? Seriously, he just looked up and pinged at him. Well, go on, bang it in, son.
Banger, what a banger. Noah Theodore is saying, big up to Mick, Peter, Jay, and Jarvis, the legends. Don't forget to check out the Caribou 4th round draw today. I didn't know
it is, yeah.
Today.
10 o'clock.
Cool. We're not going to get City, at least. They're out. They're out. Yeah.
Well, City's that's a shame. I would like to knock the fuckers out, sorry.
Yeah. And also, when since Kev is sitting there having his nice red wine and in his boxes, enjoy your time, my friend. But please come on next Wednesday if you want. Jay Daly, usual show. Come in and host us. Come in if you join us, if somebody lets you to do so.
You know what, Mick, Jay, Jarvis?
Welcome.
What do you think? Who do you think he's going to play on Saturday? Because that's had 5 players out on Saturday. From the last night's game. Elise was on the bench, not used, and they had 4 other first-team players.
Elise came in second half.
It's going to be a different team Saturday.
Well, Elise came in second half, but he didn't. I mean, as soon as we took off Amrabat, they started to get a little bit more control.
Yeah.
So that tells you how important Amrabat is in certain ways. Amrabat would probably get his full 90 minutes, full start.
I would say so, yeah.
Varane will start as well. Leacher was probably be back in the squad again. But again, Johnny Evans is doing bits and bobs. They were even singing Johnny Evans' song yesterday. Did you understand?
Mick, Maguire, I can't believe it. He was defending. You know what? Look at it from this viewpoint with Maguire. I mean, I've sat there at Old Trafford and seen how shit the guy is. And I hate to say that, because it's fitting a human being, but you can only say life as you see it. Maguire was actually comfortable because he had better players around him last night.
Yeah.
Peter,
it's not rocket science, is it?
I saw when Johnny Evans came on to play beside Maguire in Dublin in the preseason friendly, Maguire straight away knew that he was with somebody that was better than him, more experienced, and was totally subservient. And Johnny Evans just ran the back four, like he did that back four for years. And I think a lot of the fan base lost their tiny minds when Johnny got that 1-year contract. But anyone lost their minds did not know what a player Johnny was for us initially. And Evans should never have been sold in the first place. Never.
No. I mean, you know what, Jay? You could look at the players he played with, Johnny Evans at the time, the first time he was at United. I mean, you look at the goal he scored. That was Oyland was obstructing the goalkeeper. When do we see one of our centre backs rising up like that and smacking the ball in the net with his head?
That's what we signed Maguire for. He hasn't had a header for a long time.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see it. Johnny Evans comes in, boom.
Every time the ball hits Maguire's head, it goes like boom to the Sainsbury corner.
Yeah, it's like I'd love to know the stat for how many headed corner kick goals has Maguire scored since he was signed. I say you count them on 2 or 3 fingers, Peter, Mick and Jarvis.
Yeah, of course you will. Yeah. Of course you will. No. But I mean, I've seen it last night in the second half when we went to a back three. Johnny Evans was commanding it straight away. You could see him. He was telling Maguire, move away from me. Don't get too close to me. Move away, like, because then you can cover if anyone's going to, both sides are in the middle. We can intercept quick. If you're compacted, you get leaving big spaces on the wing, aren't you?
So, Peter, Nick and Jarvis.
Evans to Maguire going, move away.
Do you guys think that...
Wait a minute. Billy Connolly did his first super chat, but it was blank. He was shooting blank. Okay. Billy, write the free one. Was it a super sticker? Okay.
Nick, what happened to Billy? What happened to Billy? He went to Burnley away. He had to pay and got the shit.
Yeah, big up, Billy. Thank you. You deserve one of these as well. I thought you were shooting blanks, Apparently, Darwin Núñez is not shooting blanks anymore. He's hitting an on target. No,
guys, just want to pose the question there on the 3-5-2. Is there a case to be made that when we play mid-table and lower-table teams in Premiership, should Ten Hag look at employing a 3-5-2 with possibly Evans, Licha, and Varane at the back, and then stick Daly and Amrabat out wide and overlook and have a fit Martial up top with a Højlund. And finally, what we've all grew up watching United play since we were kids, play with we haven't seen in donkey's years.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's an interesting question, Jay. And I believe the numbers game, like, is it a 3-2-4-1 formation, the same as Pep used, or is it a 3-6-1 or whatever you want to call it? But the way what I like when I see it's we are fluent. And when Amrabat went up and Daly was up, Hannibal went down and took the left back role in the first half. So it seems like the players understand that they have zones and someone has to be in that zone. And if someone moves, you have to move back and fill it up. So I think that's what Ten Hag is trying to do with his fluent style. And I think he wants to create overloads and they have triggers. So when the ball is in one area and so people have to move up and towards the ball. And you can see it also with Hannibal, because he was so good. He was one side helping out Pelestri, and then we shifted the ball to the other side. And right away, Hannibal was there. So we had 3 players. So they were very good at moving their feet yesterday, and that's what I like, and that's why I think we need players like Hannibal to make this happen. Because fluent style, you can't have any passengers standing along and watching. So we need to move our legs, and that's what I like and what I see.
Busy players,
yeah. No, I don't remember which game it was, but it was at Old Trafford, and it was a similar game where we totally had all the bless you. When we had all the possession, we were playing the Ten Hag ball style, and we only seen it once or twice so far under his tenureship. I can't remember. It was at Old Trafford. It was a similar style. We were just passing the ball around. We had possession. It was just fluid. Which game was it?
It was in the
end of the season. End of the season.
No, it wasn't Leicester. It was Leicester should have beat us in that game, actually. before we beat them 3-0 because Madison had a ball.
Anyone in the chat can let us know which game because my memory span.
Last season,
I think it was, Mick. It was Wolves. It was Wolves. Yeah.
Was it?
It was, yeah. Back end of the season. We beat them 3-1. 3-0.
And everyone was saying, what a game. Like, everyone's, this is Ten Hag ball and blah, blah, blah. And that was the end of the season. So
it was, yeah.
And now we can see the same replica. Like,
you know what, Mick? I was sitting there last night. It's funny. It's funny when you listen to fans and you say, what is Eric Ten Hag football now? And, after the shitty start we've had a shitty start. And you're scratching your head thinking, I was sitting there last night when we was 2-0 up at half time on the floor. It's just clicked what Eric Ten Hag style of football is in my head. He plays what I call relay football, where he will push up, like say Daly will go up, Amrabat will go up. If they have to come back and play, someone will fill and take their role and they'll pop the ball over. You've seen it last night, diagonal ball after diagonal ball. And there was 3 different players who were playing the same diagonal ball.
Excuse
me,
we
got players who be getting on that diagonal ball. He plays relay football. You advance. If you get beaten, you drop back, someone will come over you.
Peter, we got
press on. That's what he plays, relay football.
Peter, sorry.
Before we go to the members thing,
I got a little bit of a break.
Angie, come on.
Angie, you are a legend. Jarvis Tutut. Angie just gifted 5 memberships, and who became a member? Angie, you're such a legend, guys. We have the best VR room ever. Like, you guys who became a member here. We got Zora was gifted the membership. Sam Platt was gifted a membership. Who else was gifted membership? Pasty
United
was
90, Pasty, and Carl Curran.
Wow, wicked. Big up. Thank you, Angie. Everyone, thank you, Angie, in the chat as well. Sorry for interrupting you, Peter. Like,
no, you're okay, man. Yeah.
Mick, I just had a point for Peter's
yes, continue.
Peter's point on the crosses, because we shifted the ball from one side to the other, and for us to do that, it's about keeping the ball in one side, luring the opposition in, and then we can cross. So suddenly everything clicked. We could see the cross of the ball. So
the thing is though, Jarvis, when you look at them diagonal balls going across, you're bypassing the midfield. So that means if the ball, say for example, Amrabat played a diagonal ball to Palestri gets the ball, you still have your midfield players active instead of it going through the midfield. Because if the midfield players try and progress the ball forward, they lose the ball. Your wingers are cut out the game, and your left backs, right backs are on the back foot. So if you ping that ball over and your winger gets it, you then have 2 players from the midfield advancing quick. They then have a pass to play to a player who can then play it to somewhere else. This is why Bruno can't do this. He cannot do that style of football, Bruno. And I think for me, he's got about two seasons left at Old Trafford, and he's gone.
Yeah, I'm just concerned about the time, so I just want to congratulate also one of our panelists that comes here, one of our legendary VR, that also gifting a lot of memberships, Mark, MUFC.
Yeah, big up Mark, man.
Big up Mark for being a member for 1 month, and Mark's been making his appearance as well. So guys, if you want to come in and have your say sometimes, want to be part of the show, this is an open platform, open mic. Just don't be like Kev, sitting in your boxes and drinking wine in Sicily.
With the salsiccia, man.
But big up to you, mate. Seriously, thank you, guys. Listen, that comes down to a headache. I don't know if it's a headache or not. Like, this is the final point of the show. Who would you preferred midfield pairing would be? Because I did run a poll here in the chat. Hey guys, I'm very intrigued to see what the poll is, but there's so many variables and so many constellation you can put. And going back to the man of the match, what you said earlier, Peter, if I back the tape, I couldn't separate them. They were like 11 Simons twins sitting together. So brilliant. But at the end of the day, I gave my man of the match to Amrabat for certain reasons, because he's resilient to sit and reject every single bid that he wants, every suitor. and to come out to say that I only wanted to play for Manchester United and Ten Hag. And I also challenged Chris Wheeler today on his tweet. He's trying to say that he was a whiskers away from joining Liverpool, and so that's absolutely BS.
No.
Absolutely BS, because I had the man, the legend, the myth in my interview exclusive. That's very good with the Italian sporting directors in the club. We're talking about Alfredo Pedula, who actually gave us the truth to say, like, the only one that can stop this deal is Manchester United. So therefore, I was so happy to see him that he actually got his debut and played 60 minutes and put a shift in. Like,
you know what, make it Amrabat a battering ram, innit? Let's make no bones about it. Like, this guy's a battering ram. When we get him in the proper position, pairing up with Casemiro, a lot of teams are gonna find it very hard to break us down in that midfield. And I'll just say this: you know who got the biggest cheer last night? Man United. Donny van der Beek when he came on.
Oh, he was. Oh, forgot about.
He nearly
scored,
was so good, and he done a cheeky little back heel facing away from the box where he put. I think it was either Martial or Dalot through, and the gas from the crowd because it was a sublime little back heel. Like, but I'll tell you what, you know what? Just maybe, Donny could just turn this round. Just maybe.
I believe so.
He's got a chance.
I believe that Ten Hag has showed faith in him. He kept him in certain ways. He's not registered for Champions League.
Europe now.
No, but he can play all the cup games. He can play
Well, this is it, yeah.
Yeah. But listen, I just want to wrap it up as well, because at the end of the day, like, Amrabat, for the price, compared to Declan Rice, compared to Casado, Jesus Christ, mate.
No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. We bought him on a loan with the obligation to buy. So if we want to buy him, we pay 20 million or less, I think.
I think it's 18 million.
18
million. Because we paid 8, haven't we, already?
Yeah. So we paid
to get him on loan,
million. I mean, that is a bargain. That is a steal.
Of course it is. I think it is.
Anyway, I think Jay is turning
Anyway,
into a
Mick,
pumpkin.
sorry. Just shout a big shout out to me hedgehog who was eating me cat food before.
You send me a WhatsApp message like, the hedgehog was eating the cat food. Your cat was not hungry, right?
Man, I'm feeding every animal going where I live. Foxes, hedgehogs, squirrels, stray cats, they're all coming. I'm going to call myself Alien Doolittle, the way it's going.
Yeah, no, listen, I got to give a special shout out to Jonathan Liljeberg. This been a man for a while. Big up Jonathan, all the way from Sweden, coming in with a super chat. Mate, so good to see you, like, fellow Scandinavian, fellow Swedish guy coming, the best match he's seen since the start of the season. 100%.
Oh, yeah.
We all agree. And that's what I say in the thumbnail. Like, I think our season starts now. We will go on a winning streak. And at the end of the day, if you look at it, we have easy, I wouldn't say that easy, but we have a lighter run of fixtures. And this is a dress-up rehearsal for Manchester City on the 27th at Old Trafford, right? Peter, imagine getting all these players fit and gelling together. I'm getting giddy here. Are we going to give Pep Guardiola a lesson here on... The crowd is getting up for it. There's a togetherness spirit coming back after all the gash that we've been receiving.
Yeah. Sorry, Vic. I'm just looking at the chat there, and people are saying, Alien Doolittle, Peter's at Chester Zoo. I actually live half a mile from Chester Zoo. And on a summer's night, you can hear lions roar when it's still in the middle of the night. I'm being serious. You can hear, it's like, fucking hell, what's up? I'm being serious. You can hear them roaring in the night.
Yeah. Better than the hedgehog eating the cat, 100%. Hedgehogs need to eat too. Listen, a little bit concerned about timing as well. It's getting late. Jay, you look like you need
Who do we draw in the cup? Anyone now?
I don't know. I don't. Anyone?
It's not begun yet. It's they're starting now.
It's one of them waffle fully drawn it.
I've done. I want to wrap this up, so please bear with me. We done a poll on the midfield pairing, but I want to hear from you panelists, Laura. Jay, who do you think is the perfect combination, or should we just mix it up?
A perfect combination. Are we talking about
The preferred midfield
trio?
Okay, trio. Based on what I saw last night, I'm going to be controversial. Mount, Amrabat, and Casemiro. Based on what I saw last night. Bruno. I think Peter's analysis was fascinating. Like Peter's at the game. What Peter sees 360-degree view of the pitch. You can see everything that we're not seeing on TV. I thought Peter's analysis was fascinating. I love listening to it. And your selection to play Martial at 10 behind Højlund and Garnacho and Palestra out in the wings. Love that. Unfortunately, we know what happened. Rashford will come back. Bruno will come back. But it'd be interesting now to see on Saturday, do we string the 68 passes together that Jarvis alluded to? Do we play that relay football? You've just kind of new phrase there, Peter. I think we got to get that I'm training on Twitter now, relay football. I love that phrase. That's just a banger, my friend. But yeah, I just loved your analysis. I really did.
Cheers, my man. There you go.
Yeah, I loved it. We'd like to have you on again, mate. Mick, if you don't mind, I'm going to do a shameful plug here. Okay? Yeah. So Jarvis, would you believe I got to go to Galway on Saturday. Galway's in the west of Ireland. Go to a bar for an FPL meet and greet. We're going to watch a couple of games with Irish FPL fans. There's a guy on YouTube. He goes by the moniker FPL Era. So I said I'd give him a plug. So he asked me to come down to Galway. There's a bar called Púcan, which means ghost in Irish, aka Scott McTominay, not a ghost. So we're going to be there on Saturday from about 1 o'clock. Watch a couple of games, chat to whoever turns up, or just generally have a chat, have a crack. If you're in Galway on Saturday, guys, come to Púcan. Love to meet you.
Jarvis, just a word of warning. If you don't drink large amount of Guinness, you're a dead man walking.
Peter, I don't drink Guinness or beer.
No. You know what, Jay, I live in Chester, and it's Chester races on Saturday. So, I go there quite a bit, Chester races. I don't gamble, because my mum used to tell me, you never see a poor bookie, which is
absolutely
a true fact.
Spot on.
But I go there to socialise. Occasionally, I'll bump into a few Man United players, and the head-on show himself, Fergie, because he likes a little gamble, that boy does.
Likes a flutter. If it hadn't been, remember the discussion we had, guys, last month, if it hadn't been for the sperm of Rock of Gibraltar, the Irish would own Man United right now.
You know what, Mick? Right,
not the Glazers.
Let me just rip this quick now. You know about Coolmore Stud, because you're Irish, JP McManus and all them. Tell the people, if the Irish would have bought Man United, what this club would have been like now. We would have been a clean, mean, efficient machine, wouldn't we?
Yeah,
and there'd been nothing spare.
And we definitely wouldn't have had the brain surgeon that was Ed Woodward, CEO for all those years. That wouldn't have happened.
No chance. Because I tell you what the Irish do, especially on horse racing, Godolphin tried to muscle in on them. A.P. O'Brien just crushed the shit out of them, didn't he? You know what I mean? He just wins the derby all the time. It's like, all that.
Jarvis, we don't need to be here. Those two can run the show together. There's so much to talk about.
Jay and Peter show. Yeah, let's talk.
Jay and Peter show, Stephanie Griffith saying Casper Spot. But guys, we forgot to say, guys, listen, if you're first time tuning in, please subscribe to the channel. Give us a cheeky like, give us a little bit of cheeky retweet on Twitter, whatever you can do. And don't, because if you do that, that kind of promotes the channel up in the algorithm, because, the platform owners of this algorithm is not really nice to fellow small content creators as well. So Rock of Gibraltar, root of the evil. Oh, 100%.
You know.
If you know. So please do that now. It's free. Subscribing is free, doesn't cost you anything. If you want to donate super chatting, that's you doing from your heart. But we thank you for everyone that's been gifting all the memberships. They've been, part of this community, right? So big up. I want to go over the poll. Anyway, Jarvis, you didn't say what your perfect midfield combination is.
Well, I've basically been saying this all the show that I prefer legs. So in my midfield, I would definitely have Hannibal in it. I would
you're a
have
legs
Amrabat
person.
and Casemiro. So those are the three guys I want to choose because I think work rate is underrated, especially when it comes to top football. And when we meet teams like Crystal Palace, we will like run over them. They will have no chance if you play with all those legs. We have like 10 lungs with that midfield trio with Amrabat and Hannibal in the team. So I will choose those three.
Yeah, 63 likes. What's it? Edward Reed wants us to stay till the draw is completed. When is it completed?
Yeah, the draw has just started.
It should be soon.
Okay, we can stay a little bit. But Jay, if you're tired, you want to go, you're welcome. United versus Newcastle. Is that correct?
Get in.
Oh, get out of here.
Get in.
Love it. Get in. Take that.
Oh, yeah.
Take
Where's
that.
it at, OT?
Where at Old Trafford?
I don't know. No, okay.
Where is it?
Yeah,
We got the
Man
Jordans.
United's playing. We play at Old Trafford against.
Yeah,
Nice.
get in, son, at Old Trafford.
It's a proper cup tie. Proper
That's a
cup tie. Have that.
Let's
Yeah.
hope Liverpool get Arsenal.
Yeah, knock him out early. Knock him out early, Craig. Whatever you're saying. We got the Geordies. Well, Billy Connolly saying, good evening, says Mark. How you doing, my friend? Good evening, lads. Hope you all doing well. Yeah, we got Newcastle at Old Trafford. Really?
Hey, that could be a bit of payback for Newcastle there, though. Don't underestimate them.
Yeah,
They'll be up for that, won't they?
Yeah.
After the final.
Fixtures. Yeah, I'm looking forward for that one. I'd rather play something.
Yeah.
And Ipswich is playing Fulham.
Ipswich, Fulham.
Wicked.
It's going to be West Ham, Arsenal.
Arsenal. West Ham, a London derby there.
Yeah. I was hoping the Scousers would have got that.
Woo.
So, hey, wait there. Could be Liverpool, Everton.
Oh, all derbies.
Mersey Derby.
It's our cup to defend, 100%.
When is the fourth round of the League Cup? Anyone know?
Oh, Bournemouth away. Liverpool.
Bournemouth
Everton
away.
got Burnley.
Woohoo. Okay, I will check that out later on. So, Moyes got a good cup side. I agree. Everton versus Burnley. What Welsh Girls is saying. Wow. So when is the fourth round then? In terms of when are we playing Newcastle?
I think it's next week. We've got Galatasaray.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be 2 weeks today. 2 weeks today.
October the 30th onward. The Tyson.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a cracker.
Okay, yeah. What am I thinking then? We've got got Crystal Palace Saturday, Galatasaray Tuesday. We've got on the Saturday, we got is it Brentford?
Brentford, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Copenhagen. Yeah. After that, yeah.
Yeah, but guys, they're also in Newcastle is also in Champions League, same as us. So they're probably going to play like the B team as well. Don't you reckon? Yeah. Good stuff. Anyway, just want to wrap up. Glad we stayed here and got this Halloween week fourth round. 100% it's Halloween week. Okay, so
before we go, Mick, I just want to say one thing when it comes to the FPL league. We haven't mentioned it, but the leader is Baird with the Purpose. He has 398 points, but we have someone who's called Dallas. Where are they? I saw Dallas Cowboys. Because I am my team is in 26th place, 357 points, and we have Jay Daly with the Dallas Cowboys 364 points. So we're right behind you, Jay. So it's still a chance.
God damn!
All to play for.
Yeah, but I forgot to. I in the midst of everything, I forgot to change my team. Anyway, I want to wrap this up by disclosing the poll. You guys in the VR room has been given the chance. Who is your preferred midfield? Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno. You had Amrabat, Casemiro, Mount. What you guys were saying, right? I also put combination Amrabat, Casemiro, Mejbri, and Casemiro, Eriksen, and Bruno. The old. Guess what the result is? Casemiro, Eriksen, Bruno got 2%. Amrabat, Casemiro, Mejbri got 11%, right? Your choice with Amrabat, Casemiro, Mount got 21%. And the winning by the VR says Amrabat, Casemiro, and Bruno. I'm sorry, Peter.
It's fair enough. It's okay.
In a way, Bruno never skips a game. He's the captain, so Bruno always has to be there, if you look at it logically.
Hey, Mick, right there. You know, last night when we went to a back three, I noticed he gave the captain's armband to Varane, not Maguire.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a bit. I know, like he was the past captain, Maguire, like, but I think that was a little bit of a slap in the face for him there, Jay. You know what I mean? And that, I know. But
listen to me. I give the captain's armband to Gore or Hannibal before I give to Maguire.
Yeah.
Anyway, guys, it's time to close the shop. Jay, you're turning into almost like Kev Ashford. All you need is a red wine and a little bit of a boxes, man, and you're ready for
man. If I had wine now, I'd be in a coma.
Big up, Jay. Listen, do you want to round this up? Should we just round it up? VR room. Thank you so much for all your contribution, Captain Jay Daly. Time to say goodnight, Captain Evo. Captain Evo, you've been keeping this fort alive.
As we say in England, Roger and Trout.
Yeah, 100%. Jarvis, good to see you smiling as well. Good to see that everyone is smiling. I don't see you in the VR room, but 68 likes.
See what a game does. See how a game, you play decent football and you get a good win. Do you see how all of a sudden you change?
Yeah. Give the armband to the tea lady. But I just want to wrap up this show. So please, guys, be with me. Thank you, everyone, that's been tuning in. Big up for Jay Daly. Big up for you, Peter, as well, for sharing your experience. Big up for Jarvis as well.
Wait a minute. What we was talking about on WhatsApp before, I'll call Irene tomorrow and see if I can do camps from there. I think that the only thing is, it's obviously because I'm on a coach with like 70 odd people on it, there's a lot of people that might want to be on the camera. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
I know what I'm saying. Okay. Basically, I was talking to Peter on WhatsApp if he can do post, because Peter is a match going fan. He's going away on the coaches and stuff like that. So I was saying, well, food of thought, you can just take your mobile phone and do a fan cam, right? And you say,
I did.
Do that. Indeed.
Peter, as I have you there, right? My partner and I, who Mick knows, we want to go to the Arsenal game in May.
Arsenal away.
To help us out. Yeah, Arsenal at home in May. Because that's on the Saturday, because Take That are playing in Manchester on the Sunday. So we want to do both. So I have Take That tickets. Now I need to get the Arsenal tickets sorted. If you could help us between now and then, we'd appreciate it.
I'll have a look for you, Jay. But I'll tell you what, listen, Man United away tickets, it's easier to get rock and roll shit. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They're going to cost. Arsenal away will cost you £300 upwards.
Jarvis, they don't need us here. They don't need us here. They can run the show.
Seriously, Jay. Arsenal games, away games. I mean, what I do, look, I'm a season ticket holder, and it's like when United play Man City, I was at the Man City game last season. This season, Liverpool at Old Trafford, I'll sell them tickets on, because they will, just them 2 tickets, will pay for my season ticket next season. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, that makes perfect sense.
Hey, we have a Newcastle fan in the VR room. We got a big draw against you, Gordy. Welcome to this chat. We're about to close.
Away the lads, eh?
He said we're coming for you, United fans. Yes.
Big up the Geordies. Good people. Good people, Geordies. Big up the Geordies.
You know what? You know what, lads? If there's one team that deserves a trophy, it's Newcastle.
No, they're good people. A lot of respect for Geordies. Yeah, good people.
My wife's a Geordie, so although she's a Middlesbrough fan.
Right, one of my fellow content creators, they run a Newcastle fan channel as well. We're talking about John as well, John Sinclair. He's been on this channel before, so big up. So go check out John Sinclair if you're not already doing that. Shout out to you as well. everyone that's been watching, it's time to close the shop. Otherwise, me and Jarvis can just leave and you guys can get a room.
We got things to do. Hey, we're on the J show, innit?
All right, Peter, it's time. It's time. Okay, Peter, let me close this shop. Like been trying for 3 days. 3 days, Peter. I could just leave you here. You could just run it for the whole night. Anyway, just jokes aside,
what, man? Wait till Saturday comes and we get beat 2-0. We'll all be screaming like bitches, innit?
There's so much to talk about. Big up for you, Peter, as well. Everyone, please, it's time to go. It's time to close the shop. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and love each other on the socials because we are going ways. We see each other on tomorrow. Tomorrow's Phil Standish show. I'm going to cover the preview again. We're playing the same team, but it's going to be a different formation. It's been Mick Ruby here.
I don't think I'm going to be on Friday night. Peter! It's my wedding anniversary.
I'm going to mute you. I'm muting you now. I'm muting you. Enough. I'm trying to close the bloody shop. Anyway, guys. I put Peter in this inbox tonight. No offense taken, but guys, tomorrow we have the preview show with Phil Standish, with Mick Ruby here, Jarvis Cocker. Go check out Jay Daly on his Twitter. Peter as well. Sorry, I'm letting you back from the sin bin. You're timed out, but let me just close it. All right. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. And I let Peter have the final word. What do we say, Peter?
It says Roger and Trout. Don't let it hang out.
No, we say love, peace, and banana, or like
love, peace, and banana. You can't say the word.
No, we cannot.
You know what I mean? Smurf's gone.
It was the funniest closing. It's like me trying to close the sale here, but you don't want to close the sale. Big up for everyone. Thank you. That's all, folks. Thank you for watching. Thanks. Big up for all of you. Good night, people.
Pleasure to meet you, Joe.
You too. Bye.
That's all, folks.
Thank you so much for stopping by and watching MUFC Realist TV. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow us on the socials.